Fala aí, pessoal do Última Ficha, estamos aqui diretamente da E3 no estande da Nintendo, querida e amada Nintendo, portanto, estamos aqui com a Romina, que ela é gerente da América Latina, da parte de marketing. Vamos estar batendo um papo com ela, incluindo a excelente novidade que a Nintendo nos soltou hoje, né? Tomou um café da manhã e você tem a melhor notícia de todas. Romina, thank you very much for receiving us here. It's, as I told you before, it's like having a shiny Pokemon right now, this interview.
Yes, shiny Pokemon this morning at 9 Pacific time.
So I had a lot of questions, but I'll have to change them. And about the huge news, Nintendo in Brazil.
Yes,
Yay.
yes. We really miss and love our Brazilian fans, and I know we don't have a Nintendo Switch there yet, but we do have Loja Nintendo for you, and I would love for you to come visit our website. It's loja.nintendo.com.br. BR. And please come, because for the next 7 days we're gonna have some special introductory pricing as well.
Yeah, I've seen that the launch price of new game is around 230 reais, right? And we have some promotions with 130.
Correct. So that will be available for the next 7 days. So please take advantage of that. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. And you're going to accept a Brazilian credit card. And are you working on debit as well, other payment forms?
Yes. So we have the Nintendo 3DS eShop today in Brazil,
Yes.
and one of the things about that is that you need an international credit card to be able to purchase, and that is not always easy to have. So one of the big advantages of Loja Nintendo is that we have all local credit cards available, and able to use Visa, MasterCard, American Express, even HyperCard is available, and we'll continue to work.
HyperCard.
Yes.
You went really far on that
Yes,
one.
and we'll continue to add debit and other cards as well, all local to Brazil, so that we can engage as many Brazilians as possible.
Awesome. And just to let them know how it works. We get in that store, we purchase the game in it, then we receive an email with the code. You enter into the Brazilian store of Nintendo Switch, and then you purchase the game with that code.
Almost. It's actually even
close.
easier. Yes, it's even easier, because once you make your purchase, because you need a Nintendo account, you have an email, and that email is already attached to your Nintendo Switch. You do not even have to enter the code. Once you go into the eShop section of your Nintendo Switch, your code will be there waiting for you. So it'll say something like, waiting to download, and you say okay, so you don't have to go and enter the 16 number code right in there. It'll be there for you. And we have a great selection of first party games, and I just want to let the fans know that we are working very hard, and it will soon also have third party games. And the other thing is that we are working as well towards having every first party launch from now on to be available on Loja Nintendo the day it releases. In the United States, it will be available as well in Loja Nintendo. So, for example, we have our next launch is Mario Tennis Aces, which launches June 22nd, and that one will be available on June 22nd.
Great. And what about, okay, it's really great having the product there for us Brazilian to purchase, and cheaper than PlayStation, cheaper than Xbox, which is amazing, really amazing news. But can we expect to have like Portuguese subtitles, Brazilian subtitles in the future, perhaps some localization in a future game? How are you working with that?
Yes, we do our best to try to localize with Brazilian Portuguese as much as possible our bigger games. So you can expect our big games to come already localized. But of course, it's a work in progress to be able to get the entire catalog localized.
Yes.
Our first step is to first give you Loja Nintendo with your, to pay with reais, with your payment options, to pay descriptions. Everything has it'll be very, for those of you who have seen eShop, it'll be a very natural look and feel, because it's basically the same, except it's in Portuguese, right? So it'll be definitely a little bit more accessible. And we continue to work to localize.
Great. And And how that movement happened, I don't know if you're aware, but many Brazilians start playing video game at the Super Nintendo era, the Nintendo Entertainment System, the first one.
Yes.
So we have, although Nintendo it wasn't launched and everything, because it was in the 80s, beginning of 90s, so it was hard to put everything, especially in South America.
Yes.
But we have a lot of fans, and they're crazy for Nintendo. Did you get like a number or anything like? Okay, I know that Brazilians are purchasing a lot Switch, that they are buying a lot of games. Do you have that number? Do you have that information? And how was the decision on, okay, let's bring that Nintendo Loja .br to Brazil?
Yes. We do not have the number because we're not officially in the country, so we do not know. But what, as you know, our history between our coming and going, we had local manufacturing, and then we were there with a distributor, and then now we're not there officially. So yet, yeah.
Hope so.
So for now, this is kind of a small step in the right direction. We do not have official hardware in Brazil. We do not have anything to announce in that regard, but we have at least the software available first, right? And in terms of numbers, I really don't know because we're not officially there. So those who are there and are using our products are getting them from somewhere else. They're not, they're asking friends when they travel. I'm sure a lot of friends ask you, right? Yeah. Bring me something, or when they
You're going to a tree, yes. No, there's a list. Here it goes.
So that is how, Brazilians are very creative. Somehow we have a lot of Nintendo Switch there, and somehow they're playing it, right? So we love that.
A fun fact, I don't know if you have here or you know about the new bank credit card. It's a purple one. It's a credit card that you can buy in any country, in anything. So everyone that has a Nintendo Switch has a new bank credit card. I have one. And we can change the stars and buy it. We have to do our way.
Right. Well, hopefully with Loja Nintendo, that'll be one last step, because you can use local credit cards now.
Yeah. And again, the price is awesome. Okay, now besides those wonderful news, how is to work and the marketing and all those new games, because you're getting a lot of new games from remasters and ports of the excellent games that Wii U had, but he was not as famous as being Nintendo Switch. It's a shame because I had Wii U, I loved the games, and now everyone is trying them and they love them because they were wonderful. So how was to work with you? They have some great games, but people did not accept that well, and now I have Nintendo Switch with the same games and everyone saying, okay, they're really wonderful. Oh my God.
Yeah, what happened, right? Why are they all of a sudden so into it? Well, I think one of the main things that happened is that Nintendo Switch has kind of redefined the way we play, because now you can play at home and also keep playing, right? You can take your game out of the house and play with your friends at the park, or play at school, or play on your way to work. And I think that's been the biggest value proposition of this home console, that you can actually keep playing. And so that's one thing. Another thing is that a lot of games, like for example Smash, that's coming on December 7th.
Which is awesome. I read play over half an hour of it.
Oh, great.
So good.
Wonderful. So this franchise is almost 20 years old. It's got tons of series, right? But you say, oh, well, here's another Smash. Well, no. One other thing we've done is we've reinvented completely these games. So not only does this game have every single character that has been played on Smash Brothers, it also will bring new ones. But if you have a character that is your favorite and you always play it, that character's also changed, because the speed, you probably could tell, the speed of the fighting is faster, so every character that's been there, it's been recalibrated, it's rebalanced, the speed. There's also new stages of play, new combat moves, new combos. So it's a favorite, it's a known franchise, but really it's a very new game.
And what about Waluigi? Internet's talking about it.
I know. So when you first start the game, so when you first start the game, you see a small part of how many characters you can use, and it'll keep growing. There are only over 60 characters in this game, so I'm not going to give it all away so you guys can discover on your own, but believe me, everybody who you like and you're looking for will be there. Also, Also this year, November 16th, we're launching Pokemon, our first Pokemon game on Switch. And this is another thing to go back to your question. We have Pokemon, which is a franchise that we all know and love, and of course, this one takes place in the Kanto region. So if you've played Pokemon, yes, so it's kind of the beginning. Yes. Really melancholy, yes. But it comes in a complete different way to play with Nintendo Switch. One of the things that Nintendo Switch offers also is playing social play, because it's 2 players. Most of our games are 2 players and up, right? So with this game as well, you can play with the Joy-Cons. You can give a Joy-Con to a friend. You can play with the Joy-Con, and your friend can play with the Pokeball Plus, which is a new piece of hardware that comes with this game as well. And it really does kind of submerge you into the experience, because this Pokeball Plus, for example, you catch your Pokemon, you feel it shakes, you hear it. You can play the whole game with the Pokeball Plus.
I heard the Pikachu in there.
Yeah, actually, Pokeball Plus already comes with a Pokemon in it. It's Mew.
Yeah.
Another great thing about this this product is that you can transfer, if you're a Pokemon Go player, you can transfer the Pokemon you caught on Pokemon Go in the Kanto region into your game on the Nintendo Switch. So
it's only Kanto region, right?
Yes.
And will there a specific place in Pokemon? I remember that I saw something like a park Pokemon, or no, you can switch them and play in the game.
Yes, but only Kanto region Pokemon. You can switch them and play, but you can transfer from Pokemon Go into your Nintendo Switch and play. But so we do have 2 games. It's Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, and that's also coming out this year.
Yes. And about the first party of Nintendo, it's really strong. We're having new games, as just said, Super Smash Bros. I see there Splatoon 2 and the expansion. The Pokemon, Mario Tennis Aces, etc. We had a lot of games from Wii U as well. You just announced it, Mario Party.
Yes, Mario Party. I love that game.
Yeah. So my question is, you have a really strong and huge first party lineup, and Nintendo fans all around the world are going crazy and crying and spending all their cents. The question: how are you planning to keep on that for the following years? Because we know they're going to see at least Switch, 5-6 years, something like that.
We want the same.
So how are you going to keep up with so many games? And do you expect to revive more franchises? Like, okay, you just did that with Mario Party, and can we expect to see an F-Zero and some old games coming back? We already know they're working on Metroid and other games.
Yes. So we did a couple announcements of games that are coming out already next year, like Metroid, like you mentioned, like Fire Emblem, Three Houses.
Love Fire Emblem.
Like Yoshi. But one of the things we like to do in our strategy is to announce more short-term maybe that other platforms do. Also because we want to make sure that you know that there's things always coming. It's one of the things that the difference, between we were talking about Wii U and Nintendo Switch is that when Wii U launched, we kind of launched a lot of things at once, right? And then there was kind of like a lull in between. It was kind of quiet.
My pocket knows that.
Yes. So what we are doing now, I think that was a learning for Nintendo. We learned that what we need to do is have a steady drum beat of games. So that's on purpose. We purposely always have something. And if you think about it, when you mix our first party with our third party games that we have, Nintendo Switch is 15 months old and it's got over 700 games already on it. So we are exclusively, working on our stuff, which is great, but we're also looking into developers, indies, because third-party content it's just almost as important as our first-party content, because we want to give a wider range of catalog to the fans.
Yes. Yeah. And we have 2 questions for our public. I said we are very passionate and they were like crazy when they knew we were going to come here and make this interview. The first is one that I actually have as well. When we have a PlayStation 4 and an Xbox and PC, a tablet, cell phone, we have the streaming apps. So we have Netflix, Hulu, Crunchyroll, and etc. And Nintendo is an on-the-go system. So when can we watch our favorite series and stuff like that on the go? go on Switch?
Yes, we get asked that a lot, but we currently do not have any plans to add that. No plans that no, not that I know of anyway. But I'm not an engineer, nor am I an engineering team. But we do not have any plans. We're focused more on our first party content, like you said, and also adding third party. But we don't have anything to announce on adding those kind of services.
Sad. Okay, I have to keep watching on my cell phone.
Yeah.
For now. And one more question for our public is about the new online service. Yeah, in a few months, we're going to have a new online service that it's going to be real cheap if compared to the others. So now, since you launched the Brazil store, first question is: are you going to have this online service available for Brazil as well? And what's going to change on the online that we play today? Which is very good, by the way. It's very good.
Okay, good. I'm glad you like it.
Yes, and okay, we know that we're going to have some goodies. Let's say some free games. What can we expect from Nintendo with those free games? So, three small questions.
Yes. So
Or
we
big.
have big questions. Nintendo Switch Online will launch in September this year, and we are planning to include Brazil on it. So one of the pluses in having Loja Nintendo is that you can purchase your membership through Loja Nintendo and have it.
Do you have the price for it?
But sorry?
The price?
No, we have not settled on price, and we're even still working on. I know that people are probably looking at the U.S. and maybe even Mexico, and there's like a 1 month, a 3 month, and a 1 year membership. We're still working on that, so we don't have yet even the time to announce, but we will have it. It will be available, so just keep tuned. We will do our best to keep announcing and keeping everybody abreast. And one of the pluses of Nintendo Switch Online is that you get all these cool old school games, right?
Yes.
And those will be available, of course. And just like Loja Nintendo is slowly growing and going through an evolution of starting with first party, eventually it'll have third party content. We also want to, of course, have demos and things so that we can invite people to try games before. We don't have the capability yet, but our intention is to give as much as possible to the fans in Brazil, as much as we possibly can directly, right, via the internet.
Well, Romina, thank you very much. Wonderful news, wonderful information. I believe our fans are going to be happy in time in Brazil, and I'm really looking forward to buy my first Brazilian game.
Yes, me too. Me
Okay.
too. Thank you so much for coming, and a big hug to all of our fans in Brazil. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Alô galera, muito obrigado por assistir a mais um vídeo do Última Ficha. Não deixem de curtir o vídeo, se inscrever no canal e acompanhar as nossas redes sociais que estão na descrição do vídeo. Acessem nosso site www.ultimaficha.com.br para todas as notícias mais quentes do mundo dos jogos. Até a próxima!